The example of those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah is that of a grain that sprouts into 7 years, each bearing 100 grains, and Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills, for Allah is all bountiful, all knowing. Take from their wealth, O Prophet, charity to purify and bless them, and pray for them. Surely your prayer is a source of comfort for them, and Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. The example of those who donate their wealth seeking Allah's pleasure and believing the reward is certain is that of a garden on a fertile hill. When heavy rains fall, it yields up twice its normal produce. If no heavy rain falls, a drizzle is sufficient, and Allah is all-seeing of what you do. Those who spend their wealth in charity, day and night, secretly and openly, their reward is with their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. Allah does not forbid you from dealing kindly and fairly with those who have not fought you for your faith or driven you out of your homes. Surely Allah loves those who are fair. They give food, despite their desire for it, to the poor, the orphan, and the captive, saying to themselves, "We feed you only for the sake of Allah, seeking neither reward nor thanks from you." Surely, for Muslim man and woman, believing men and women, devout men and women, truthful men and women, patient men and women, humble men and women, charitable men and women, fasting men and women who guard their chastity, and men and women who remember Allah often. For all of them, Allah has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. Charity is for the needy who are too engaged in the cause of Allah to move about in the land for work. Those unfamiliar with their situation will think they are not in need because they do not beg. You can recognize them by their appearance. They do not beg people persistently. Whatever you give in charity is certainly well known to Allah. The believers, both men and women, are guardians of one another. They encourage good and forbid evil, establish prayer, pay alms tax, and obey Allah and His messengers. It is they who will be shown Allah's mercy. Surely Allah is almighty, all-wise. O believers, donate from the best of what you have earned, and what we have produced for you from the earth. Do not pick out worthless things for donation, which you yourselves would only accept with closed eyes, and know that Allah is self-sufficient, praiseworthy. Satan threatens you with the prospect of poverty and bids you to the shameful deed of stinginess, while Allah promises you forgiveness and great bounties from Him, and Allah is all-bountiful, all-knowing. Say, "Indeed it is my Lord who gives abundant or limited provisions to whoever He wills of His servants, and whatever you spend in charity, He will compensate you for it, for He is the best provider." Spend in the cause of Allah, and do not let your own hands throw you into destruction by withholding, and do good, for Allah certainly loves the good doers. Righteousness is not in turning your faces towards the east or the west. Rather, the righteous are those who believe in Allah, the last day, the angels, the books, and the prophets, who give charity out of their cherished wealth to relatives, orphans, the poor, needy travelers, beggars, and for freeing captives, who establish prayer, pay alms tax, and keep the pledges they make, and who are patient in times of suffering, adversity, and in the heat of battle. It is they who are true in faith, and it is they who are mindful of Allah. They ask you, O Prophet, what they should donate. Say, whatever you spend in charity must go to parents, relatives, orphans, the poor, and needy travelers. Whatever good you do is certainly well known to Allah. Your true allies are Allah, His messenger, and fellow believers. Those who establish prayer and pay alms tax with humility. Those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah and do not follow their charity with reminders of generosity or hurtful words will get their reward from their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. The example of those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah is that of a grain that sprouts into 7 years, each bearing 100 grains, and Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills, for Allah is all bountiful, all knowing. Charity is for the needy, who are too engaged in the cause of Allah to move about in the land for work. Those unfamiliar with their situation will think they are not in need because they do not beg. You can recognize them by their appearance. They do not beg people persistently. Whatever you give in charity is certainly well known to Allah. Charity is a powerful act in Islam that brings both spiritual and material benefits. Through these verses, we learn that giving in the way of Allah not only purifies our wealth and hearts, but also brings immense rewards in this life and in the hereafter. May Allah grant us the ability to give generously and sincerely, and may our acts of charity be a means of earning His pleasure and blessings. Ameen.